project is about the late 1960s, and we've been inspired by the Records and Rebels exhibition at the V&A, and also some documents from the National Archives which are from the same time period of 1966 to 1970. And we've used those documents to create our own practical, creative response.
There was just so much going on in the 60s. It's an incredible period of dynamic change, really, unprecedented change. However, I think it's not wise to look at the past with rose-tinted spectacles. And this is one of the things that the Wren students brought out in their tremendous performance about the 60s.
We plan to use the art students' work as set. We wanted the set design to be there in terms of telling its own story, but also to integrate with the performance story as well.
The students really did well by kind of researching and used the documents provided by the National Archives to help them research and start creating the artwork.
The National Archives, when we visited it, was really interesting because it was all stuff that happened from the past, so it was quite interesting to learn about things from first hand.
Prior to the project, the students' perspective of the 60s was it was quite fabulous, flamboyant, with bright colours. They were aware of the music and the popular culture. However, after visiting the V&A and visiting the National Archives, that introduced them to issues based around the 60s as well, for example, environmentalism. So we wanted to use a medium that was reusable and recyclable, and that's why we chose cardboard.
I'd say one of the most challenging yet enjoyable things about this project has been the fact it has been purely devised from us and from the students. That is such a unique experience, especially for school-age children, to be given that kind of responsibility to create a performance like this, which scans such a period of change in time.
So the artwork that is seen today in the exhibition will also be part of the drama production, which is a really great opportunity for this cross-curricular project.
It was great to come and have a look at the artwork before we got the chance to see the performance, and I thought it was really well put together.
On the agenda for today. We've got quite a funny one, actually. We're talking about women's rights. Speak up.
If Barbara Castle can be Secretary of State, and if they can strike in Leeds, then we can strike too. Yeah! We are going to strike! Yeah!
I think the students at Wren Academy did brilliantly in covering all these aspects, like a kaleidoscope of different issues in their performance. They brought across some of the excitement and fun of the period, but also they explored some of the darker elements of the 60s and issues which still perhaps resonate today for many people. So I think it was a triumph.
My generation has seen right through that.
Certainly with the archives, I think it's really important that young children do engage, because this is their past, this is our past, and without the past we wouldn't have a future.
I just think they can learn so much out of it, because most young people just see what is happening now. It's so important to see how things have been 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years back.
In terms of what I've learned from the project, I think there's been a massive development in my understanding of obviously of the 60s, but also in the way that things that have happened in the 60s, which seems like a really long time ago, has actually affected us today.
I seem to see the River Tiber foaming with much blood.
The audience response was actually quite overwhelming, not only when they stood on their feet to give them a round of applause at the end, but also a lot of parents and other members of the audience came and spoke to the students, spoke to myself, spoke to other teachers involved, said how they were moved by it all, how they were quite inspired by it all and touched. And I think that's kind of what we set out to do, isn't it? Is to do justice to these real events in an authentic way. So I feel quite proud that that was the response that the audience gave us.